Hey friends, today we are continuing this series on creating sacred spaces in our lives. It's in Luke chapter 10 verses 38 through 42 that Jesus comes to the home of Mary and Martha. And while Jesus is there visiting with them, Martha is busy in the kitchen and other places making sure that she is a good host serving Jesus. At the same time, her sister Mary is sitting at Jesus' feet listening to what he has to say, listening to his teaching. Now, what happens, Martha becomes upset with Mary and she asks Jesus, "Why don't you tell my sister Mary to help me out in the kitchen? Tell her to help me out as I serve you." Clearly, Martha was feeling overwhelmed by all that she felt that she had to do for Jesus, and she wanted Mary to help her out. Now, Martha often gets a bad rap here, but I want you to think about it for a moment. What was Martha doing? She was serving Jesus. How can that be a bad thing? And we have to be careful here. Jesus doesn't really rebuke Martha. Rather, what he does is he offers to her words of comfort. What he says, "Martha, you are anxious and you are troubled about many things." Now, maybe this describes you. Maybe you are anxious and you are troubled about many things. It's a common condition in our very busy world that we live in. You're doing good things for your family. You're doing good things at your place of work. You're doing good things through your church. But doing all of these things has left you feeling depleted, and you are worried and you are anxious about many things. We feel burdened and we feel the obligation to live up to the expectations of others in this life. And so we overload our schedule. We overload our commitments that overwhelm us. We feel as if everything is dependent upon us, and if we don't come through, it's all going to collapse. But Jesus, what does he say? He says, one thing is necessary. And sometimes the most important thing we can do is to set aside all of that other stuff and leave it undone to spend unrushed time with Jesus. The most important thing that we have in this world is the relationship that we have with him. And everything else in our life, all of our commitments, flow from that relationship that we have with him. Recognize that if the house that you are building is dependent upon you, that house will not stand. But the house that is built upon Jesus Christ, that house will stand forever. I'd rather have a shack that is built upon a rock than a mansion that is built in the sand. Set aside your pride and realize that it's not all dependent upon you as much as you think that it is dependent upon you. And what you do make dependent upon yourself will one day collapse. Our value before God is not in what we do. Our value is in who we are. Stop trying to prove yourself to God. Stop trying to prove yourself to others. You already have his approval, and that approval comes through what Jesus has done for you. I want to leave you with one last thought from the Message translation of the scripture, Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 through 30. Are you tired? Are you worn out? Are you burned out on religion? Come to me. Get away with me and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. Some great words of Jesus there to learn and to put into practice. Hey, have a great week. We will see you again next week.